Good day, everyone, and welcome to the practical section of the front-end programming. Here, I'm going to tell you about this. I'm going to show you the syntax of programming of front-end, particularly HTML. We're going to be doing HTML today. Then in our next class, we're going to be looking at CSS and the other ones. So firstly, when you want to write an HTML code, you use a doc type HTML, you use a HTML language, you call in your HTML, you call in an header, you call in your title in the head part. The head entails your title and your link. The body contains everything you're going to see in your code. Let me run my own front end to show you what I did using HTML. I was able to have this using HTML. All these things that are written here is through my HTML. But you see the decoration, the beautification of this website is with my CSS and not my HTML. So for today, I'm going to be showing you some basics on HTML by creating firstly a new file for you so that we can learn more about HTML. Stay tuned. Tutorial. Let's name our HTML tutorial. .html. When you are coding, you have to make sure that you put that extension HTML so that we'll know that you're working with HTML, else it bring out an error message for you. So we'll open a new page for our HTML tutorial today. And what is the first thing I said we're going to do? We're going to call in the doc type HTML. So having called that, the next thing we're going to do, the next syntax we're going to do is the HTML part that we'll be calling in. Having called that, you put it down. The next header we're going to open is the head. The head, I said, contains the title, contains the link. In case you want to beautify your code, you link it with CSS. So, but we're not doing CSS today, so let's just work with HTML. Let's call it the title. The title, let's call it tutorial class. Tutorial class. So now we're going to leave the head, come down, and we're going to open a body. This body entails everything you want to see in your HTML code. Everything you're going to see, all the write-up, anything you want to do, just the write-up. The body entails everything. If it's form, if it's table, the body entails everything. So in HTML, we have something called an header 1. If you want to write, you have something called an header 1. This is to give us the biggest fonts. We have header 1, we have header 2, we have header 3, header 4, header 5, and header 6. Header 6 is the smallest font. The highest the number of header, the smallest the font it will give us. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that by using the whole 6 headers. So firstly, let's just look for a simple header we can use to check out the header. Let's use tutorial again. So coming down, you move from here. Coming down, I open another new header, H2. I'll copy this word so it will be easier. Sorry for that. So coming here, we're going to write our word tutorial. Let me copy the word again. Control C. So that's header 2. Coming down, we have header 3. Header 4. Header 5. And we have the last one, header 6. Yes, we have header 6. So when I run it, you are going to see how it gives us different sizes of fonts. Now this is what they are about. Header 1, this is header 1, the biggest size. We have header 2, we have header 3, we have header 4, we have header 5, and this is header 6. Like I said earlier, the higher the number of header, the lower the size of the font. So having done that, we also have something called a paragraph. So this paragraph, you can write a lot of things. If you want, you can write a lot of languages. If you want it to come to the next line, you can either introduce multiple paragraphs or you can use a keyword called BR. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. Let's say we're writing a little information about our tutorial class. Let's say we're writing tutorial class. sorry, tutorial class is for front-end developers. So front-end developers, and let's say we want to write please be there. So is either we can create a new paragraph by coming down, you create a new paragraph, please be there. You can do it like this. When I run it for you, you would see that we have two words in different lines. Tutorial classes for front-end developers, please be there. Or we can actually do something like this. Let me erase this for better understanding for us. You can actually do something like this. It's for front-end developers. Introduce your BR work. This means break, go to a new line. They will write, there's no need of space, right? Please be there. So when we run it, this is it. We also have it in different lines. So moving further, if we want to create a form in HTML, we introduce the keyword form. If we want to create table, we introduce keyword tables. But in order for me to show you much practical class, you have to stay tuned to this channel and to this page. So let me use from my own that I did to show you guys a little more on HTML. So I've explained body. This div is when you call in a class in case you want to design using style sheets, using cascading style sheets, CSS. In order for you not to stress yourself, you can call him, you can use this div for it to beautify it, for it to, like if you want to change the color to red, instead of writing change the P to red, change header 1 to red, change header 2 to red. No, with this style sheet and with this div keyword, you can just write change main to F and everything around it will be changed. Now this input is for if you want to impute a search button, if you can use this impute keyword for search buttons, you can use it for also for forms. And this, let me explain a bit about this my search button. This my search button is if you want to search anything on my website. So this button here will create a button. Let me show it to you. The keyword button creates a button. This is a button, this thing that is changing color when you go close to it, when that is hovering, it's called hovering. Whenever you click on something and it changes color, it's called to hover. So this is a button, and this is my own button in my website. So coming down to this content of a thing, or this writing of that I did here, is one that is actually here. With the help of this content, I was able to design all my writing. Let me run it. All this write-up I did here, I was able to, if you check this word, you see that this one is bigger, these ones are smaller, this one is orange. I was able to do this using a keyword called span. I was able to do this using a keyword called span. You can use div and span, they work hand in hand. What is span for? Span is if you have a long word like this, I want to make only this word here blue, so you will span it. Right, you now go to your cascading style sheet, tell them you want to make the one that you span blue, then the rest should be white. Then you see that you have a white and blue sentence. So that is all about my website. Still stay tuned for more tutorial classes on HTML and CSS. See you all soon again. God bless you.